Flight cancellations at airports across the country this morning, including PDX. Our coverage includes a live shot from the airport, and we also have tips on what to do if your flight is canceled.
And some Oregonians say that they've already seen their SNAP cards reload after a federal judge ordered the Trump administration to issue November payments in full. Plus,
for the very first time ever, welcome to the stage, your Seattle Torres!
Yep, the newest pro women's hockey team in the Northwest has a name. We're going to have more details on the inspiration behind the Seattle Torrent coming up as we kick off the 6 o'clock hour sunrise right now.
good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Friday. I'm China Green.
All right, I know this man is happy it's Friday. He's Rod Hill.
Yes.
He's got your forecast.
Yeah, happy this big push of women's professional sports keeps on chugging along too. Really happy about that. We have ourselves a good weekend. It will be all dry. Do you realize the last 4 weekends have been entirely wet, or at least 50 to 60% wet? So it's literally been a month since we've had a nice weekend in terms of staying dry. We have that coming up. Scattered showers on the radar, yes. So far, not a lot of this has been holding together over the valley. We've seen a lot of these showers hit the Coast Range, then kind of disappear and repop over the Cascades. But you could find, a little period of rainy weather coming in this morning. But it's the quietest morning we've seen in the last few by far. It's still comfortable outside temperature-wise. We're at 51 degrees. Oregon Zoo getting ready for the holiday season, of course, 47 up there in the West Hills. To the bus stop we go. So some scattered showers around today, not many of them. And the shower chance starts to end about the time the kids get out of school. It'll be about 57 degrees. I still think the rain is all out of here by 5 o'clock today. And again, your weekend all dry both days. Your complete 7-day, of course, is coming up.
Rod, thank you. We are following breaking news out of Portland's Centennial neighborhood. A deadly crash as part of Southeast Division shutdown this morning. So
next here, we're going to give you a live look at that scene. Police say just before 3 this morning, an officer spotted 2 cars driving recklessly near Southeast 119th and Division. Before the officer could even turn on his police lights, both cars took off. And a few minutes later, one of them crashed into a utility pole at 148th and Division. So the driver died at the scene. That intersection, as China mentioned, remains closed. The second car got away, still hasn't been found. Anyone who saw what happened or has other information that could help should contact Portland Police. One of the big government shutdown headlines we're covering this morning is the start of flight cancellations all around the country.
PDX is among 40 major airports where airlines have been required by the FAA to cut back flights. So those cuts will be phased in, starting with a 4% reduction in flights today and ramping up to 10% within a week. All commercial airlines will be affected, though international flights will not be impacted. The transportation secretary says this is about keeping people safe as air traffic controllers are pushed to work without pay, plus ongoing staffing shortages. So Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson is live at PDX for us. Corey, what's it like for travelers this morning?
Well, here at PDX this morning, Drew, China, 5 flights have officially been canceled. Now, we got here about an hour ago. That number sat at about 4 canceled flights, so it's steadily increasing. They impact people who are traveling through Alaska Airlines as well as Southwest. Now they're heading to Denver, San Jose, and Sacramento. The lines here at PDX are long right now. Many people we spoke with say they made sure to get here early because they didn't know exactly what to expect with the cancellations. As of about 3:30 this morning, more than 800 U.S. flights were canceled. That's 4 times the number of U.S. cancellations a day earlier, according to FlightAware. So what happens if your flight ends up getting canceled? Federal officials are saying they're requiring all airlines to issue full refunds for the canceled flights. And keep in mind, international flights won't be impacted by this, and it will be up to the carriers to decide which flights are canceled while the shutdown continues. Here at PDX, travelers tell me cancellations are already impacting not only their plans, but their family members' plans as well.
They backed out actually because they were so worried about getting stuck in between where they were going to switch planes in Dallas, and they couldn't take the risk. But we decided that we're going to give it a shot, and I'm not so worried about getting there, is coming home.
Now, as we talk with more travelers, something we've continuously heard is they're concerned about Thanksgiving if the government shutdown continues. Will they have to drive? Will they opt to drive? Many travelers this morning here at PDX Drew in China, those are the thoughts that they're thinking about right now.
All right, Corey Johnson for us live at the airport. Now, there has been some talk this week about a solution to the shutdown being worked out behind closed doors in D.C., but the bottom line is it is not over yet as we enter day 38.
So Republicans want to extend current funding temporarily, while Democrats are pushing to renew expiring Obamacare subsidies as premiums rise. Some Senate Democrats may back a short-term deal to end the shutdown if it guarantees a future vote on health care, but others refuse to move forward without a clear health care win. And we are tracking an update this morning for local SNAP recipients.
So last night, a federal judge ordered the Trump administration to issue full payments for November. We already heard from a handful of KGW viewers who said their SNAP cards have been reloaded, and posts online indicate that those payments include full benefits. The Trump administration had said it planned to appeal the judge's ruling yesterday and was still only going to issue slimmed-down versions of SNAP this month, roughly 65%. But again, it appears at least some recipients have received their full November payment. All right, one of the top headlines all week is this legal battle over whether the Trump administration would fund SNAP during the government shutdown. Again, we talked all week about whether or not it would be partial, whether it would be full. Local pantries are working to keep up with demand from people looking to get by. So we visited William Temple House in Northwest Portland yesterday. The nonprofit says they've seen a record number of people lining up for food this month. The nonprofit is extending hours to meet the need, and they also say no one will leave empty-handed. They're asking those who can afford it to donate food and funds to help serve the people in need.
And on Straight Talk, we are also looking at another local nonprofit that's having a hard time keeping up with demand for the food during the uncertainty around SNAP. So Meals on Wheels People helps older adults in Portland who are often homebound by delivering food and other services. And since last week, the organization says hundreds of new seniors have called asking for help.
In fact, one of my client services told me this morning, the phone's on fire, right? Can't keep up with it. We're enrolling people as fast as we can.
Washington says people have not been turned away, but with increasing demand, they are in need of community support. That can include volunteering, donating food, or donating money. So you can watch the full interview on Straight Talk this weekend, Monday evening, or anytime on KGW+. In Hillsborough, now the Salvation Army Washington County Hope Center received a 30,000-pound food donation. The nonprofit says it's seen nearly a 72% increase in food box distributions, and the need is growing. The Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints donated all the food. They say it'll help feed local families at their new Client Choice Food Pantry. So if you need assistance, the pantry is located at the Hope Center. The address is right there on your screen.
Oregon Supreme Court has finally taken up the state's voter-approved gun control law. We're talking about Measure 114, which was challenged at both the state and federal level and put on hold shortly after it passed in 2022. The law requires a few things: training for a permit to buy guns. It also gets rid of a loophole that allows dealers to skip waiting for background checks if they take longer than 3 days. And finally, it restricts high-capacity magazines to no more than 10 rounds. That restriction was part of yesterday's arguments.
The way that the technology operates now allowed the Las Vegas shooter to fire more than 100 rounds in a minute.
The fact of the matter is the Constitution of Oregon and the United States applies to things that did not exist when the document was written.
The state Supreme Court will decide if Measure 114 is constitutional or not, but we don't know how long that ruling will take. The Oregon Sports Hall of Fame has 5 new members this morning. KGW's Orlando Sanchez, a sharply dressed man, hosting last night's awards ceremony in Beaverton. Now, before they got to the Hall of Fame inductees, the event recognized 9 local athletes and coaches of the year. Those included Oregon State gymnast Jade Carey and University of Oregon softball coach Melissa Lombardi, who led the Ducks to the College Softball World Series this year.
It was an unbelievable year. We didn't get exactly all the way to the end, but what I think about is just the blueprint that they laid and version 7 and just what an unbelievable special team they are.
So let's talk about this year's Hall of Fame inductees now. They are Olympic track star Galen Rupp, wheelchair basketball Paralympian Susie Grimes, 3-time national title basketball player Lori Milligan, the entire 2015 Timbers team, and Jerry Allen. You see him right there, the voice of the Ducks since 1987. We also put together a profile on each inductee. You can watch their stories on our KGW YouTube page.
All right, Seattle, for the very first time ever, welcome to the stage, your Seattle Torrents!
It's official. Seattle's professional women's hockey team will be called the Seattle Torrent. The PWHL made the big reveal during a ceremony yesterday in Seattle, showing off the team's new logo and the colors. The team says Torrent draws inspiration from the powerful waterways that shape and connect Washington's unique landscape, symbolizing the team's determination to carve its own path.
So together with your support, we will carve our path just as a Torrent does and establish ourselves as a force to be reckoned with in this league. So let's go Torrent!
The Torrent's home opener is at Climate Pledge Arena on November 28th.
So Seattle cannot get an NBA basketball team back, but they do now have a professional women's hockey team playing in that awesome arena.
If the Sonics came back, the city would burn down.
Yeah, no, it was.
They'd be so stoked.
It is surprising me, right, Rod, that the Seattle still does not have. Oklahoma City has a basketball team,
Yeah.
obviously, because of the Sonics.
Yeah.
But a lot of smaller cities have a team. Seattle does not.
I'm still betting that the city of Ridgefield, Washington will get professional baseball before Portland does.
Oh, geez.
I mean, they do have an in and out.
We have an in-out.
I didn't want things to go this negatively, but they just did.
All right, we have a moisture break. Well, I haven't said that all week. I put my yellow lines here. Here's the moisture break. The next system out to sea stays out to sea. We have scattered showers still feeding into our region this morning, but those will be ending during the day, and all of your weekend looks to be dry. Timberline Lodge, a couple inches of snow. It's 29 degrees of new snow up there has fallen. The passes are fine. A reminder, it is that time of the year that I highly recommend whenever you go over the Cascade Passes, don't just assume things are good. Take a second, get online. TripCheck.com has all of your mountain passes. By the way, they're fine. Now 36 at Government Camp. Santiam has some snow roadside, 32. Willamette Pass is in good shape. They've had some snow showers overnight, but the roadway looks wet and 35 degrees. So all okay driving up over the passes on this Friday morning. We're in the 40s to about 50 degrees. It's 50 in downtown, 51 in Vancouver, 49 degrees in Salem. Winds have eased. They're mostly southwest to variable, calm to 5 to 10 miles per hour, including not much wind at the coast this morning either. Showers later today, ending right about, I think, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock this afternoon across our entire region. We'll have sun breaks, daytime highs you can see statewide, mainly in the 50s. And here is that 7-day forecast. We get back to some cooler nights. Overnight tonight in Portland, 43. Tomorrow's high, 60, a partly cloudy day. East winds start to develop overnight tonight, and they'll be gusting to about 30 this weekend out near the gorge. Now, if you don't have any east wind at your house, you're probably in the 30s Sunday morning, but with sunny skies, we think we get up to 63. Rain chances return Monday afternoon, but not much rain until Thursday of next week. Enjoy your weekend. That's the update.
Thank you, Rod.